Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today's video, it is going to be about
Online dating works.
Guys, online dating does work. So we have received a couple questions. We actually always do receive questions about how we met, and if you haven't watched our video about how we met, please do so. It is somehow somewhere posted in our YouTube, in our channel. But we have received a lot of questions about people asking if online dating works. It does work. At least for us, it did work. So we decided to make a little video about, some of the tips about online dating, just what we did, and hopefully this could be helpful for you guys too.
We just want to put a quick disclaimer out there with you guys. The online dating worked for us, and some of the things that we're going to tell you may or may not work for you, but we want to let you guys know this is just what worked for us. So we're hoping that with what we talk about today, it offers you another tool in your toolbox just to help you on your journey as you try to go through online dating, if that's what you decide to do.
Online dating tips that we can give you is to be yourself. By being yourself will mean that, like, when you post on your website or your page, whenever you decide to do online dating, definitely post pictures of yourself, like pictures that describe you.
Yeah, and I would say I kind of did the same thing when I was doing things. I tried to mix up the different pictures that I had because I wanted the person who saw my profile just to get a well-rounded view of who I was. All my pictures, they were not edited, but it doesn't mean but I did pick, like, ones that obviously I thought were good.
Are you sure they were edited?
But I'm not saying that you are bad if you put edited pictures. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think you have to have kind of a balance between, does it really reflect who you are, like she was saying.
Yeah, definitely pour yourself. Don't pour those, something that doesn't look like you, because it's not fair for the other person that would, that's planning on meeting you. You don't want on your first date the person to be like, oh my gosh, that's not the person that I thought they were. You don't want that, because that's already like a red flag right there, like literally. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah. I would agree. I would say, and because we obviously both have been doing online dating for, not for ever, but we've been on more than one date when we were doing the online thing. When I had some pictures that I saw online with other dates that I had in the past before I met my wife, I saw pictures, but then the picture did not reflect the person that I met, and so the rest the rest of the evening was terrible.
You were catfish?
Yeah, I got faked out, or was that what catfish is? I'm not up to the terms with all these new terms.
That's funny. That's funny. So the second thing we're gonna talk about is.
I got it.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I got this. It's
You got it, Jesus.
So all of us have like a list of non-negotiables and some things that we would just absolutely not compromise on. And just to give you like one example, it could be your religion. So everybody has different belief systems, and a lot of people prefer to be with someone who has a similar belief system. There's good reasons for that. Then you get along with family better, those kinds of things. So that would be one example where you may have a non-negotiable or no compromise. For other people, it could be something else. That might not be a non-negotiable or a priority for them. It could be that maybe you want them to have a particular personality. Maybe that's a non-negotiable. It can't be I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It's really up to you personally. Whatever's on your bucket list, just make sure that you follow. I would say like at least the top 3, maybe even top 5. Do not compromise. Don't ever scratch those off your list. But we all have huge bucket lists. Like we may have 1 through 100 things that we want. Don't make sure that they check off all 100 boxes. Maybe if they just check off the first 5, that actually for me was
that's less.
well. It's the most important
Only
ones.
5 out of 100.
Yeah, and the first 5 might make up like 80 to 90% of what you want.
That's true.
So you're gonna throw out the whole 90% for 10%? No, I wouldn't do that. So that's just kind of my what I was looking for when I did it. Just something that I felt worked for me.
We like the opposite of each other, but there's things that we both knew from day one. If this person doesn't have those things, there's a high chance it may not work for us. Mm-hmm. So why force it, or why go into it, as a relationship if you know it may not work?
I would say maybe one thing we could really talk about is what was our maybe 1 or 2 or top 3 bucket list items. For me, the first one was you had to be a Christian.
And it was the same for me.
Yeah, and then the second thing was...
you have to be black?
No. Actually, no, that wasn't.
Excuse me?
No, it wasn't. I would say the second thing was you had to, show some sense of family. Like, you had to love your family. You had to have a close relationship with your family. Mm-hmm. And for her, that was...
something that I
right there. Yeah, it's really, for the African culture, that is a number 1 priority, pretty much. The family, the connection, taking care of each other, watching out for each other, making sure that that your elders are taken care of.
He knows about African family.
And then I would say the third thing was, for me, it's not the most important, but it was something that I really wanted, was someone who could cook.
Ooh, baby.
And believe it or not, I did not know that when I first met her. So
you were just hoping that I can cook.
Yeah, so it was, I got through I could figure out what the first 2 were, on our first date, pretty much, if she was in that direction. The third one, I didn't really find out until, later when I met her. And I actually got lucky, and she's a really good cook. I'm serious. She's a really great cook. And,
thanks, babe.
And maybe what we could do for one other video is we could do we could do a cooking video of genuine Congolese cooking.
No.
All right, I'll leave it there. Hopefully that's something we could do, because I think she would do a really good job. And anyway.
I do love cooking. It just takes forever sometimes, so I'm like, I can go a week without cooking. Sometimes I might stretch it to 2 weeks too without cooking. But when I want to cook, I think I can cook. But thanks, babe. That's Olivia.
And we're not gonna fake it. I mean, we say number 1 would be your religion, but also when you really think about it in the back of your mind, you do want to be attracted to them. And
that's true.
being attracted to somebody could come in maybe they're cute, the way they look physically. Or it could also be their personality, or it could be a mix of the things. And that obviously was there for us. We're not going to pretend like it wasn't. And so I would, definitely suggest that maybe that's something that will work for you. We all know the older we get, the physical features change, but the personalities...
No, he didn't. Oh my God.
The personalities change,
really,
get better, or they are good. So just something to think about.
Okay.
Okay, so I had to say the real deal, there for a minute. So I think that says it all for that one, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
So when we have a third one, and the third one is just no pressure.
Yeah, definitely no pressure. Don't settle. This is kind of close to the second one, but literally don't settle just because. Just because you went on a date with the person for second time or third time doesn't mean you are in a relationship with them. Still, spend time to get to know them. Spend time to get to figure it out if this is the person you want to be with. definitely a lot of people, you could feel pressure like, hey, I went on a date with this person and I think that's the person for me. Don't do that. Don't. I think that's awful, and before you know it, you would have ended up being miserable and wasting everyone's time and energy. So I don't think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, especially when you're meeting someone for the first time, I think it's very similar to going to your first day at your new job, or it could be, the first time you meet, like for me, when I met her mom for the first time, or her sister. It's kind of that similar feeling that you get. You have these butterfly feelings in you, and you're nervous and you're anxious because you don't know what the other person's going to think. Do they like you? Do they hate you? You have all these questions in your head. And I think the best way to handle that is just to say, be yourself, no pressure. Try to have fun and enjoy it. So then the fourth thing is meet in public places for maybe your first couple of dates. That's what we decided to do, not because we told each other, I think you're a killer and therefore we should meet in a public place. She didn't say that and I didn't say that. Not that I was scared of her or anything.
Are you sure you weren't scared?
Yeah, I wasn't scared. But, it's like the public places take the pressure off. When you're by yourself and it's the first date and you never met each other before, I think that when you meet in a public place, it helps to take that pressure off that we were talking about before.
And also for safety too. You don't want to meet a stranger, you don't want to bring them in your home or in your, I don't know, in your car or something like that. Definitely, I wouldn't do it. So I do suggest, and you never meet the person, on your first date never bring them to your home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, don't invite a stranger into your home. It's just not fair, and it's just not safe.
Yeah, common sense.
Yeah.
Kind of approach.
Because they may not be a bad person, but, you just never know. Because you're still trying to get to know them.
Right, exactly. And, if you're going to ask, when should we hang out by ourselves? I think that, you should put that at your own discretion.
Mm-hmm.
How do you trust them? Do you feel comfortable around them? Maybe you got to know some of their friends and, got to see how they react to each other and interact with themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe you can introduce them to your friends before you meet alone.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of something that we decided to do. I can't even remember when we first hung out independently. I think it might have been. We went to public places by ourselves, obviously. But as far as hanging out by ourselves, it might have been at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, we did. We didn't take long actually to meet, in non-public place by ourselves. That was because we literally hung out every day. When we first met, we saw each other every day. Like, we would hang out for 4 hours straight. Like, we go to movies and then go on a walk and then just go out to eat. Like, we had 3 dates in one day.
Yeah, so she could always run away in case if I ever decided I wanted to attack her.
Whatever. It wasn't like that, but we literally spent a lot of time together, literally the first couple days, that when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I felt safe and I was like, I think I can
marry me?
Not like
after
that.
Day one?
Not like that.
That's okay. That's not how I remember it.
It was not.
Huh?
It was more like I think I can. You can take me home to have dinner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear
Just
you.
dinner.
Okay, and then for the next tip, don't waste your time. Don't spend the next 6 to 12 months getting to know the other person if you think that it's just not worth it. Move on, find they could be a friend. But if
friends on them.
If your goal is
friends on them.
get to know them, fine. Maybe it might take 2 years for you to really see that they could be a partner for you. But you also get to know other people, get to know friends, get to know different personalities, get to experience people who have different things they enjoy. Like, you may like the inside, they like the outside. If you want to go hang out with that person, maybe they'll go on a hike with you, and then you'll find out, oh, well, you know, I actually learned something that I enjoy that I did not enjoy before until I met that person.
Yeah.
So when you get to just become friends with different people, more people, eventually that friendship could turn into something more.
Yeah.
So I find that to be important as well.
I think so too, yeah. Definitely. So a lot of people actually spend months, you know, chasing the other person, and this go back to the beginning. If you don't have a lot of things in common, it's gonna end it up like everyone wasting everyone's time. Like they just, you know, you're going on dates with them, you're doing things with them, but they don't see you as important as you want them to see you. So if you know, ended up being in that position, definitely, I suggest don't waste your time. Still tell them you want to be friends and you want to go out and meet other people, but don't just settle. Don't be there and be the little dog or the little piece of shit. And because you're worth more than they probably think. So definitely, you know, respect yourself and respect their time or what they're looking for too, because you may not be what they're looking for at the moment. So just move on and have fun and meet other people.
Yeah, and you won't hurt anybody's feelings. I mean,
there's no ring on a finger.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well, you know,
no ring on a finger. You can't really hurt somebody's feeling, I think. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you know, you're doing them a favor and you're doing yourself a favor by, you know, not wasting your time or their time. You're opening more doors for them, more doors for yourself.
Yeah.
And you still can be friends. You won't make it weird or strange. Now that's up to you whether it becomes weird or strange, or them. But you know, that's kind of the approach.
It's up to you too if you want to be friends with them, because you shouldn't feel pressure to be friends with them too. You know, if you don't feel like they don't want you and you don't want them to be your friends, I think it's personal. It's a personal choice. So yeah, you got to do what makes you happy. Like what makes you happy, it's what's more important.
Okay, everyone. So everything we've told you today was stuff that worked for us. The disclaimer that we want to say is it may work for you. Some of it may work for you, none of it may work for you, or all of it may work for you. We just want you to, maybe as you watch today, find something useful, something that you can apply to your relationship or your journey that you're going through. And we want you guys just to be happy. We want you to grow. We want you to just experience different things that are healthy for you. And everything that we've talked about, we personally have been through it. And then we're just basically talking about our first-hand experience.
Yeah, so we want to thank you guys for watching. And if you have any suggestions or comments, please don't forget to comment below, or you can email us. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below. We just want to thank you guys, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Love you guys.
Bye.